a small, colorful village surrounded by green hills and blooming flowers, there lived a kind little girl named Lily. Lily loved drawing more than anything in the world. She drew on paper, on old notebooks, and even on smooth stones she found near the river. Her favorite thing to paint was the beautiful world around her: bright butterflies, smiling suns, tall trees, and tiny birds sitting on branches. But Lily had one big problem. Her family was very poor. Her father was a farmer, and her mother stitched clothes for the villagers. They worked hard every day, but they could not afford fancy paints, colorful papers, or shiny brushes, so Lily made her own art supplies. She used charcoal from the stove for black color, crushed flowers for pink and red, leaves for green, and mud mixed with water for brown. Even though her paints were simple, Lily's drawings were always full of life and joy. Every evening after finishing her chores, Lily would sit under the old banyan tree near her house and paint. The villagers often stopped to watch her. "One day, Lily," they would say, "you will become the greatest artist in the world." Lily would smile and say, "I don't want to be the greatest. I just want to make people happy with my paintings." One night, after a long day of helping her parents in the field, Lily sat under the banyan tree and painted the moon shining over the village. She worked quietly until her eyes grew heavy. Soon, she fell asleep with her little paintbrush still in her hand. As the night grew darker, something magical happened. A soft golden light appeared in front of Lily. The light swirled like fireflies dancing in the air, and from it came a beautiful old woman dressed in silver robes. Her hair sparkled like moonlight and her voice was as gentle as the wind. "Lily," she said, "I have watched your kind heart and your love for art. You paint not for fame or riches, but to bring happiness to others. For that, I want to give you a special gift." The old woman held out a shining paintbrush. Its handle was smooth like polished wood, and its bristles glowed with rainbow colors. "This is a magic paintbrush," she said. "Whatever you paint with it will come to life. But remember one important rule: use it only to help others, never for greed." Lily's eyes widened with wonder. Before she could say thank you, the old woman smiled and disappeared into the moonlight. The next morning, Lily woke up and found the paintbrush lying beside her. "Was it just a dream?" she whispered. Curious, she picked it up and ran home. She dipped the brush into a little bowl of blue paint and painted a tiny bird on a piece of paper. The moment she finished the last feather, the bird shook itself, chirped happily, and flew right off the page. Lily gasped. "It's real! The brush is really magical!" At first, Lily was so excited that she painted flowers, butterflies, and little rabbits just to watch them come alive. But then she remembered the old woman's words: "Use it only to help others." That very afternoon, Lily saw her elderly neighbor, Mrs. Green, crying outside her house. "What happened?" Lily asked gently. "My cow ran away, Mrs." Green said sadly, "Without her, I will have no milk to sell, and I don't know how I will buy food." Lily thought for a moment. She took out her magic paintbrush and painted a healthy brown cow on the ground. As soon as she finished, the painted cow blinked, mooed softly, and stood up on its 4 legs. Mrs. Green could hardly believe her eyes. "Oh, Lily," she cried with joy, "you have saved me." From that day on, Lily began using the brush to help everyone in the village. When Farmer Ben's well dried up, Lily painted a strong new water pump. When the blacksmith's cartwheel broke, Lily painted a new one. When the schoolchildren had no books, Lily painted stacks of books filled with stories and lessons. When winter came and some families had no blankets, Lily painted warm blankets in bright colors. The whole village became happier and brighter because of Lily's kindness. People loved her not because she had magic, but because she always used it with a caring heart. But not everyone in the village was kind. On the far side of the village lived a rich and selfish man named Mr. Thorne. He owned the biggest house, the largest fields, and chests full of gold. Yet he was never satisfied. He always wanted more. One day, Mr. Thorne heard people talking about Lily's magic paintbrush. His eyes lit up greedily. "A brush that can bring paintings to life?" he muttered. "If I had that brush, I could paint endless gold, jewels, and treasures. I would become the richest man in the world." The next morning, Mr. Thorne marched to Lily's house and demanded, "Give me the magic paintbrush at once." Lily shook her head. "No, Mr. Thorne. It is not meant for greed. It is meant to help people." Mr. Thorne's face turned red with anger. "If you won't give it to me willingly, I'll take it myself." That night, while Lily and her parents were asleep, Mr. Thorne sneaked into their house and stole the paintbrush. He hurried back to his mansion, locked himself in his room, and laughed. "Now all the wealth in the world will be mine." He spread a huge sheet of paper on the table and painted a mountain of gold coins, but when he finished, nothing happened. Confused, he painted diamonds, silver cups, and golden crowns. Still nothing happened. Mr. Thorne stomped his feet. "Why isn't it working?" At that moment, Lily's words echoed in his mind. "It is not meant for greed." Furious, Mr. Thorne decided to force the magic. He painted a giant treasure chest, hoping it would come alive anyway. Suddenly, the room shook. The painted treasure chest rose from the paper, but instead of opening with riches, it burst apart into a storm of sticky black paint. The paint splashed all over Mr. Thorne's face, clothes, and walls. He slipped on the floor, fell backward, and landed with a loud thud. Just then, Lily arrived at his mansion. She had followed the trail of paint drops. "Please," Mr. Thorne groaned, covered in black paint from head to toe, "make it stop." Lily picked up the brush and said calmly, "Magic should never be used for greed, Mr. Thorne. It only works when the heart is kind." Mr. Thorne felt ashamed. He had spent his whole life chasing wealth and had forgotten what truly mattered. "I'm sorry, Lily," he said quietly. "I was selfish. I only thought about myself." Lily looked at him for a moment, then smiled kindly. "If you really mean it, you can still change." From that day on, Mr. Thorne tried to become a better person. He shared food with hungry families, repaired broken homes, and helped the farmers in the village. Little by little, people began to trust him again. And Lily? She continued to use the magic paintbrush to spread kindness, hope, and happiness wherever she went. She painted swings for children, gardens for empty spaces, shoes for those who had none, and toys for little ones who had never had any. Years later, people still told stories about the girl with the magic paintbrush, but the real magic, they said, was not in the brush itself. The real magic was in Lily's kind heart. And so, in that little village full of color and laughter, Lily taught everyone an important lesson. Magic becomes truly powerful when it is used to help others. Moral of the story: kindness is the greatest magic of all. Use your gifts to help others, not just yourself.